Protests erupt outside KMT headquarters over election law amendments. Malaysian influencer detained in Taiwan for alleged fraud. Fines issued after tourist hit by train in Alishan. Ukrainian forces claim significant casualties among North Koreans. Telegram pushes extremist groups to users. Possible carbon monoxide poisoning at Georgian ski resort. Honda and Nissan hold merger talks. Americans now allowed 10-day visa-free travel to China.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Thursday, December 19th, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan news, around 6,000 protesters gather outside the KMT headquarters in Taipei, opposing amendments to the Election and Recall Act and to other laws. KMT youth responded with inflatable props and music. Police deployed 20 officers to maintain order. The protest was organized by civic groups criticizing KMT's legislative proposals. Malaysian influencer Erupt, missing since November 11th, was found detained in Changhua for allegedly working as a fraud syndicate runner. His parents had appealed for help, unaware of his arrest, who has 71,000 followers on Instagram. A female tourist in Alishan was struck by a train on November 14th while taking photos on the tracks. Despite the train's warning horn, the incident caused a 60-minute delay, affecting 62 passengers. The Tourism Bureau has imposed a 50,000 NT dollar fine on the tour agency and 15,000 NT dollars on the tour guide. And in global news, the Ukrainian Defense Ministry's main directorate of intelligence reported on Monday that at least 30 North Korean soldiers were killed or wounded in weekend battles in Russia's western Kursk region, prompting commanders to send in reinforcements to frontline units. The North Korean army units are being re-equipped following their losses in the assaults. The GUR stated units of the DPRK army suffered significant losses. At least 30 soldiers were killed or wounded.
At least 3 North Korean troops went missing near the village of Kurlovka in Kursk. White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby also confirmed the casualties, estimating that several dozen North Korean soldiers have been killed or wounded while fighting in Ukraine. The GUR reported that units consisting of Russian and North Korean troops had suffered approximately 200 total casualties. Ukrainian FPV drones inflicted particularly heavy losses on North Korean troops. The GUR further claimed on Saturday that the language barrier between North Korean and Russian troops is complicating battlefield operations. In one friendly fire incident, confused North Korean troops opened fire on Chechen vehicles, killing 8 fighters.
A new study shared exclusively with the BBC reveals that the social media platform Telegram uses an algorithm that promotes extremist content. The report from the U.S. civil rights organization Southern Poverty Law Center found that the similar channels feature, introduced last year, recommends extremist channels even to users browsing topics like celebrities or technology. A professor demonstrated how he quickly found someone on Telegram offering to ship an Uzi submarine gun to the UK for £850.
Telegram claims that users are only presented with content they have chosen to engage with, and says it removes millions of harmful pieces of content daily. Best known as a messaging app marketed for its secretive features, Telegram also allows its nearly 1 billion users to create groups where they can broadcast messages and videos to up to 200,000 people at a time. SPLC researchers looked at 28,000 of these Telegram channels for their report Telegram's Toxic Recommendations. It found that users browsing mundane topics would be recommended extreme content, while users looking at one form of extreme content, such as anti-government conspiracies, would be pushed towards other extremist ideologies such as anti-Semitism or white nationalism.
Eleven Indian nationals were among 12 people found dead at a ski resort in the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia. in what is believed to be a case of carbon monoxide poisoning. Georgia's Internal Affairs Ministry said that all the victims were employees at a restaurant in Gudari, a popular ski resort near the Russian border. The 12th victim was a Georgian national. They were found in a resting area on the second floor of the restaurant, where a power generator placed inside the bedrooms is thought to have been turned on after the power supply was disrupted.
The ministry said, at the initial inspection, no signs of body injuries or signs of violence were detected. Georgian police are investigating the deaths as negligent manslaughter, and a forensic team is working to determine the exact cause of death. The Indian embassy in Tbilisi said Monday on X that it was working closely with local authorities to facilitate the prompt repatriation of the mortal remains to India. Power generators release lethal amounts of carbon monoxide and are therefore recommended for use almost exclusively outside. In the U.S., portable generators are among the deadliest consumer products, killing an average of 70 people annually.
Honda and Nissan are reported to have held exploratory talks about a potential merger to help them compete against electric vehicle makers, particularly in China. In March, the two Japanese car makers agreed to explore a strategic partnership for EVs. Both firms issue identical statements saying, as announced in March of this year, Honda and Nissan are exploring possibilities for a future collaboration, leveraging each other's strengths. This comes as car brands face growing competition amid the industry's shift to electric vehicles, with production in China booming.
Honda and Nissan have not denied the story but stated it was not something that has been announced by either company. The discussions are believed to be in the very early stages, with no guarantee of a deal being struck. A potential merger between Japan's top 3 manufacturers could face several complications. Any deal would likely come under intense political scrutiny in Japan, as it might result in major job cuts. Honda and Nissan agreed in March to cooperate in their EV businesses, and in August, they deepened their ties by agreeing to collaborate on batteries and other technology. The Nikkei also reported that Nissan and Honda might eventually involve Mitsubishi in any potential partnership.
China said Tuesday it was expanding its visa-free transit policy, allowing Americans and other eligible foreign travelers to stay in parts of the country for up to 240 hours or 10 days, as officials tried to attract more overseas visitors. China's National Immigration Agency announced the measure, which is effective immediately, saying passport holders from 54 countries are eligible. Previously, travelers could stay in China visa-free for 72 to 144 hours, depending on where they visited, as long as they continued on to third countries or regions.
Travelers with confirmed tickets to exit China within 10 days can enter at 60 locations across 24 provinces, including Beijing and Shanghai. The expanded scheme also allows transit visitors to travel across regions during the 10 days, with some restrictions. Visa waivers for transit passengers are popular among travelers, including Americans, who might otherwise face a tedious visa process for travel to China or elsewhere. China, the world's second biggest economy, has been trying to bring back international visitors as it emerges from 3 years of pandemic isolation and has eased visa policies in recent months. The immigration agency said in October that the number of foreign travelers to China had jumped nearly 50% year on year, while visa-free entries were up almost 80%.
The answer for yesterday was B, macabre. The movie's macabre scenes left the audience feeling unsettled. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Honda and Nissan hold merger talks. Number 1, identical. 完全相同的，无差别的。The two shirts are identical in color and size. Number 2, complication. 复杂化并发症，困难。The surgery was successful, but a complication arose during recovery. Number 3, scrutiny. 仔细检查，详细审视。The company's financial records are under intense scrutiny by the authorities. Next, we have a multiple choice question for everyone to practice. Which answer would you choose? You can write your answer in the comment section. The correct answer will be announced tomorrow. And that's all for today's Funday News. Be sure to tune in to Funday News from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'm Johnny Wu, your host. I will see you next time.